Welcome, MMO fans. This is your host, alexlexus, introducing you to this feature special on the MMO Mugen Show, taking a look at the Castlevania Lords of Shadow saga. Now, most of you know that I've been raging and bitching about a lot of games in the last couple of months, but I like to shift gears and focus on something a little more positive, which was the reinvention of the Castlevania franchise. Now, the Lords of Shadow saga took a different spin or different direction in the Castlevania storyline. Now, with this being a reboot, David Cox and Mercury Steam really outdid themselves because, prior to the development of this game, I didn't know who Mercury Steam was. Now, with that being said, they really uh, put themselves on the map with their quality, their music scores, the environment, like the attention to detail with this series, and I must tip my hat off to them. Thank you, Mercury Steam. And if Lords of Shadow 2 is indeed your final installment of the Castlevania arc that you guys have developed, it's gonna be really sad to see you guys go. But most of you who've been following the storyline have already seen that Gabriel Belmont, who in essence was the first Belmont in this storyline, turns into Dracula, or of the Dragon, and that kind of took us for a really big spin, but I like that they did this. And the reason why I like that they did this is now with Gabriel Dracula Belmont, it kind of creates the connection that we never really understand in the original series, because it was Dracula was just the person that you beat the crap out of after every game. He just kept resurrecting and all that. So with Gabriel being Trevor Belmont's father, and Alucard now being thrown into the mix, because we know Alucard is indeed the son of Dracula, how does now this affect the story? Because could it be that Trevor Belmont gets killed and he gets reborn as Alucard? Well, how does Simon Belmont play into this? I mean, will we see Richter Belmont or any of the other famous Belmonts? This remains to be seen, because we already played Lords of Shadow, which is basically, it should have been called the Origins of Dracula, and now we're going into Mirror of Fate, where it's all about the Belmonts and their relationship to Dracula. And with that, it's going to be very interesting. However, my only gripe with this is it's forcing me to be on the Nintendo DS, and I mean, the game is tailored specific to that technology, so we're gonna be stuck having to go and get a DS just to get the second part of the storyline. So everything was done perfect except for the move to just stay on the handheld to get the filler story between Lords of Shadow 1 and 2. But I mean, I'm gonna get it because I'm a diehard Castlevania fan. Now, furthermore, everybody, those of you out there, NMO fans and Castlevania fans alike, we already know that that is indeed Alucard at the end of the trailer for Lords of Shadow 2, so let's not be foolish. Also, with this trailer, that person who, or that statue that's hanging up at the top of Dracula's castle makes me wonder. There's a lot of things that were speculated that at the end of Lords of Shadow 1, that Gabriel pretty much suffered the same fate as the Lords of Shadow, where his dark side was left behind, and thus combining all the powers of the necromancers, the vampire, and the Lycans. So this, in essence, makes him the Prince of Darkness. but that's just speculation. We don't know what's going to be revealed fall 2012 and 2013 when Lords of Shadow 2 is released. But it was an ingenious idea, and turning or making the first Belmont Dracula that excellent, and I'm very happy to see that, you know, you see Gabriel as Dracula and he looks badass, and with that fire whip, that also makes me think, okay, you have a fire whip that he manifests through his hand, and in the older Castlevania games, if you power up your whip enough, it becomes a fire whip. So was this something that David Cox and Mercury Steam did intentionally? Is that a nod? Will one of the Belmonts defeat him and take this from him? We'll see. Now, with that being said, Gabriel, wow, he's going to be the main character again, or it's kind of hard for me to call him Dracula, but with now these new abilities that he has, because he's immortal, undead, I mean, how is it going to affect the gameplay of the game? In Lords of Shadow 2, will you even be able to play as a Belmont? Now, as you're seeing here, you have Gabriel, or Dracula, facing off against Alucard, but of course you got that nasty cliffhanger. But it's going to be very interesting to see what the developments are. But Enemo fans, Castlevania fans, let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on what could develop in this interesting conclusion to the Lords of Shadow saga? This was also a tribute video, so any of you guys that share my passion for Castlevania, subscribe to the show and we will continue to discuss. So this is alexlexus. Peace.